Contractors Secret Weapon weekly podcast with your hosts, Dave Negri. This program is dedicated to helping contractors, remodelers, painters, roofers, roof cleaners, and business owners in the construction industry gain an unfair advantage over the competition. This program supplies you with information that the competition doesn't even know exists. This session brought to you by ContractorsSecretWeapon.com.
Hey, this is Dave with Contractors Secret Weapon, and I just want to thank everyone for being with us today and listening and following us. And today I have a really exciting guest with us, Tabitha Carro. She calls herself the iPhone Visual Marketing Addict, and Tabitha is a smartphone marketing guru. She's a full-time certified elementary school teacher, owner of a curriculum design business, and her present passion is exploring how to visually promote businesses, that's your business, people, through an iPhone. And in May of 2016, she created the Smartphone Marketing School, a blog and membership site to share her iPhone design techniques with fellow business owners. And through her course, content members are learning how to create professional videos, product photos, social media designs without the need for camera equipment. So it's like doing it on the run. And she lives in with her husband in South Carolina and her Yorkie poo. Everyone's got to have.
That's my baby.
Yeah,
yes.
So, Tabitha, I'm excited that you're with us today because you have some great things to share with us. And just thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you so much. I'm super excited just talking with you right beforehand, and very excited to be able to share some things that will hopefully help your audience.
Well, that's cool because, you know, a lot of us guys in the contracting business or the service business, I don't think we realize the importance of what video does for our businesses. So why don't you help explain that more so these guys so that help them get better proficient at it and just know the importance of it.
Totally. Well, everything obviously has been exploding with video, and I think that's just as a result of social media exploding. And whereas, you know, before not everybody was on social media, but now everybody, even like my husband's grandmother, who's like 92,
no way.
She just like friend requested me the other day, and I was like, oh my goodness. And she was like telling, my husband, I'm going to learn, teach me how to, post my pictures of my flowers and all of these things. And so it's a crazy new online world, and it's all very visual. And obviously with that comes video. And we know that video, has always been what has captured our attention. But before, what was the problem was it wasn't really something we could produce, just the regular person, without a bunch of knowledge, technology, know-how. But now it really is within anybody's reach if you have a decent smartphone.
And just about everyone has a smartphone except for my dad.
I don't think my dad has one either. They're probably the only two left in this country.
I had someone call me that said that your other line is ready for an upgrade. I said, yeah, I do, but my dad's not ready for one.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. Well, maybe one of these days you'll finally convince them. Yes.
So with the video, and I know that you have an online course which is free, and I joined it, and it's a ton of information on how to use your smartphone without all that stuff. So tell us about just some of the beginning things that people can do with their smartphone to get the results, or some good results. They'll always get better results as they practice, huh?
Right. Of course, yes. I'm definitely myself still in the practicing, exploring mode, and the whole new world of mobile video where you can record and edit and produce right on your phone is totally new world. So, but you can keep it simple. You do not have to be complicated at all. And I'm thinking about for your contractors if they want to, there's so many things with your audience that are so video awesome that they could do just the before and after. They could do time lapse where they're just showing themselves, whether they're painting a wall, and there's things like that. They're just fascinating to people to watch, whereas myself, it's kind of harder to show visually, what I do. But anyways, so I think there's lots of opportunities as far as just basics. I know that before I really learned how to do anything with my phone, I was taking pictures and they were really blurry, really cloudy. This is probably like my iPhone 4. And my husband was like, give me your phone. I was like, what? And so he took it and he grabbed his shirt and just wiped the lens. Well, that's something I just never thought about. But I'm definitely thinking about your carpenters and your people that are around dust all the time. Before you video, at least make that conscious effort with a clean square inch of your shirt. Just wipe that lens, and it is amazing, if you haven't done it, the difference in video quality. So that's just like tip number one. Depending on your device, I would suggest just Google a quick article about the in-app camera settings. Don't worry about some other type of camera app. For iPhone, when you go to the camera setting and go to video, you can press down on the area that you want to focus on. You just press down on the screen, and that will automatically lock the focus and exposure, which will be really helpful just to give a sharper image to your video when it's focused in on whether you're, showing yourself cutting a piece of wood, or even for your photos as well, definitely for your photos, just to focus in. So just learn your basic camera settings, nothing complicated. And then if you really want to do more than just candid type video, if you want something that looks nice, you may want to think about some kind of stability. And I'm pretty sure your audience can think of very clever ways to do this. Whereas for me, I just may have I have a tabletop tripod, and then I have a standing tripod. But what you will need, the only thing that you will need, and honestly, you can probably use, a stack of books or something, and just make sure that your iPhone or your smartphone is on there steady. But for me, you can go to Amazon for $8 to $15 and just search smartphone mount adapter, smartphone mount or whatever, and you'll get a whole bunch of different options. Any and all of them will work. My favorite is Square Jellyfish is the brand. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's more durable. So if you've got some tough hands that are kind of tough on things, you might want to get that one. But it will just stretch so you can slip your phone inside of it, and then you can attach that to any type of camera mount. So you might have something laying around the house already. If you have somebody who's interested in photography, I steal my husband's photography stuff all the time because that's one of his hobbies. And I just use that mount, and just to make sure that you have the stability, because it's really hard, especially now. There's tons of videos out there. If your video is very shaky, you're probably going to lose people. So that's just something that you want to think about, like how you can keep it stable. And honestly, I'm sure that there's, your audience will think of creative ways that they could just prop up the phone somewhere where it's not moving and it's steady as they video.
Yeah, so it's basically just keeping it steady as you go. I was just playing with my phone while you were talking, and I'm going to my phone, and I push that little square that comes up. You press that, and that focuses it?
Yes, that focuses it. And on an iPhone, you'll have a slider, a tiny slider to the right of the square that pops up for you. And that's to increase your exposure or decrease. So that will help also with your lighting. So if you're in a darker environment, you just swipe up and it will give you more exposure, kind of open things up. Right. And then if you're out and it's very sunny and you actually need it to be less bright, you would decrease that.
Okay, guys, I'm doing this on my phone now, but don't stop while you're driving and do this. It could be dangerous.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Definitely not. But that one tip, it almost is like all you need.
Well,
if you know how to use that.
When you you can adjust the light just a little if you're in a dark place or a light place, and then that's really cool. That's a neat little tip.
Yes. And that's for iPhone. That's for all iOS devices. So I'm not experienced with Android, but like I said, if you have Android, just do a quick Google search, how to use my camera, and see what they have there for you as well. And with those, the very few individuals that may have the iPhone 7 Plus, you have a very extra special treat, which is the new portrait mode, which is for photography, but it will blur the background around whatever focal point you're focusing on, and it gives it that, they call it the DSLR, but that portrait photography effect where it has the blurred back. Yeah, you can totally do that, and it's not the real thing yet, but it is super close. But it's only for iPhone 7 Plus.
Right. Now, no, I'm looking at mine. Sorry, everybody. I'm just, will that do video too, or just pictures?
No. For now, it's just photography. Okay. Yes. So you have to be in photo mode.
So just do a bunch together and then put them together later. No, that's too much work. I'm not for work. Make it easy and make it fun, and I'm in for it. So let me ask you. I mean, you're really excited about this stuff, and it's really a passion of yours. What got you led to start really exploring all this fun stuff?
Well, the same kind of mentality. I was tired of doing too much work, but I am a teacher. I'm a school teacher, and I got into business. I had no clue about business, but I got into it because of this new website that came around like 6 or 7 years ago for teachers to create their own lesson plans, activities, all digital, and to upload them and sell them to other fellow teachers. And yeah, it's called Teachers Pay Teachers. And when I first jumped on, it was completely new. I didn't know what I was doing, and I was very much the perfect example of somebody who was working way too hard and not smart. I was working harder, not smarter. Yeah. And so when I started creating, I would create, maybe these math cards or, these printable games. So I wanted to have really nice photos, and I wanted to have video, and I started a YouTube channel. And my husband, he is a graphic designer, and he's always been the one to really kind of train me and educate me, because all of this was new to me as far as quality and video and how to do things right. And he was like, you got to have the professional camera, and then you have to upload it, and you have to do the professional software. And so I did, but here I am, a full-time school teacher. I'm going home, and I'm spending like my whole weekend just to crank out one YouTube video. And I was like, this is not going to work. But I did try it for like a year.
Goodness, yeah.
Yeah, I stuck at it. And, people were like, my fellow teacher entrepreneurs were like, wow, your videos are great. But I was like, I'm burnt out, So at the same time as probably when I had my iPhone 5 is, one day I was all set up with my professional camera and everything. And I can't remember why, but I was like, let me just, I had my setup. I was using natural lighting, which is great. And that's really all you need. And I was like, let me just try my phone for these photos. And they were really great. And then I started learning, okay, well, this one app, you can just touch a couple of buttons, a couple of filters, and it automatically made it look great as well. And then when I got the iPhone 6, I was like, I'm going full into this, because by then the camera quality was really great. So I started doing my videos as well, where I was like talking to the camera, and then I would do panning shots of my products and all this. And you couldn't tell a difference. I mean, it may have been very minor, but the big difference for me was how much time I was saving. Yeah. And I was actually enjoying the process. Whereas before, you think of all the pieces that have to, go together just to get a video from, video recording to final cut, final production. But now I could video, I could edit, I could produce it right from my phone. So anytime I was on the couch, during commercial breaks, or, stuck somewhere, doctor's appointment in the waiting room, I could just go ahead and work on things and get them done. And it was just so much better for me. And I do like being creative. So you still have that component of creativity, but you have none of that hassle and, is, do I have batteries in my camera? You know, where's my plug, you know, to get these photos onto my, you know, computer? It's like none of that. All that goes out for someone like me.
Where did I put that file?
Yeah, exactly. So for me, that was just a world of difference. And that's how I got into it. And because I am very much involved in the teacher entrepreneur community, which is this thing that has blown up over the past 5 years. I had a lot of friends saying, you know, how do you do that? I want to know. And so I started a whole different social media accounts and platform and website just to teach the skills that I do with my phone for visual content creation. So,
wow. So just because other people said, I want to know how to do that, they got you, again, being creative and starting your own business.
Yeah, it's just interesting how you sort of like delve into something kind of more a hobby or something that you just find fun to do, and you realize, hey, this is something I can monetize as well. And I think that's for those of us in business, you find that, you know, often throughout your life, you know, your just creative interests end up being something you can pursue, you know, to help bring you income as well.
Cool. That's really awesome. So let's talk about the importance of, is it the long video, the short video, and like regular business owners of having a social media presence and what they can do with videos with those?
Yes. Okay. So first of all, I will say, if you're not on social media yet and you're like, okay, just tell me what's the biggest bang for my buck, you know, get a Facebook page. I would say, although in the back of my mind, if you're really wanting to get into this, if you find this fun, exciting, I would say Instagram could be like a whole untapped world because it's all visual. But I think for your audience, make sure that you get a Facebook page, a separate page, not just your personal. And the cool thing is that you can totally create like your Facebook banner header, you know, your cover at the top, and any kind of graphics. You can do that with your phone. If we have time, I can explain. But
we'll make time.
Okay. Hey, I can talk about this all night. So. But as far as video length, this is the other awesome thing. It is not about how long it is. It's just about how engaging it is. Okay. And I just recently read, this was direct from Facebook, I believe. They were saying that 15 seconds, that's all you need. You need, yeah. So what I think for your audience, set up your phone, go to, I don't know how it works for Android, but on your iPhone, when you go to the camera app, go over to time lapse. Just set it up and show yourself working on something, you know, before and after project, or just something that's visual. And I'm telling you, I mean, I follow certain accounts that are actually like people who make things out of wood and who do these before and after, not because I'm necessarily want, you know, or need anything, but I just, it's engaging. Just people love before and after, and your audience, they are doing before and afters every day. So like, just set that up, and it only has to be 15 seconds long. And honestly, if it's engaging trumps quality. Like, right. Anytime. I mean, I can be a stickler for myself as far as like the quality that I produce, because obviously I feel like it needs to be top notch. But I'll see my friends, you know, put something in it, you know, it's like blurry and, you know, the lighting's not that great, but because it was authentic and in the moment, and it seems so real, when it seems so real, when it seems live, I mean, people just eat that up. So really, the shorter, the better. That's fine. I mean, Facebook Live, if your audience wanted to dare to enter that world, you don't even need to video yourself. You can have somebody like holding the camera while you're showing a certain skill or showing yourself doing something. There's just so much really that can be done. And honestly, it's not about being polished. It's just about, you know, grabbing people's attention. And so with that short video clip, you want to make sure it's powerful, but quick and to the point. And because that will, you just want to grab people as they're scrolling down the feed. You want to make them stop in their tracks, and then hopefully they'll be like, what is this? And so then they'll look at your description, and your description shorter is usually better as well. But you want it to be something that really piques their interest, or, whether you have a deal going on, whatever, or I don't know. But that my husband, who has an online business, and he's a master at crafting Facebook pages, he says that visual, whether it's a photo or video, you just want that to grab people's attention, so they'll look up and they'll look at the description, and then make sure that description really has a call to action that, completes the whole purpose of that post.
That's wild. So the nice part here again is that it can be simple, it can be non-time consuming, and so you can get it up and done in just a matter of a minute or two, and have it put on your Facebook page.
Oh yes, definitely. And honestly, like I said, I could talk about this forever, but in the iOS Photos app or whatever, you can also, let's say that you tap play and you can see that, or you also went to stop your phone and you can see that on your phone. When you're in your Photos app, you select the video that you want to trim. And when I'm talking about trimming, I'm just talking about like removing that beginning and ending part. And there is the third icon at the bottom that has like some sliders. That's your edit icon. And you'll see right there, you can just move the left black handle a little bit to the right to cut off that beginning intro. And you can do that on the right side as well if you need to cut off the ending, if it was, you turning off the phone or whatever. And then you just save it as you press done, save it as a new clip, and you've already trimmed any stuff you didn't want in that clip. You've already trimmed it, so you're ready to go.
Wow. So it's all done right then and there.
It's all done right there. You don't even need a third party app.
I mean, it can't get much simpler than that.
And especially for your audience and what they could show, it doesn't need to be some major production.
Right. Yeah. No, because it could be a before and after. It could be, something funny that happened that just off the wall, that they were doing, and it just didn't come out the way they wanted. And, people like to see stuff like that.
Yes.
To see funny stuff and weird stuff. And a matter of fact, before I got on with you, I was watching a video, and it was sort of like time lapse, because they did stuff and they sped it up, and then they brought it down, and they sped it up again and brought it down. It was really wild on how they did it. But that's what made it engaging. It was from the beginning to the end, and it was fast and slow, fast and slow, fast and slow. So I ended up watching a whole crazy thing, and it was on woodworking, and I could care less, but it looked fun.
Yes, that's the thing. It's not even something that you're interested in, and yet you can't stop watching.
I know. That's really wild. So you were talking a minute ago about adding something into was it a graphic or?
Right. So if you need any kind of design, just a photo with text on it. Now, my favorite, but it's not for Android, so I'll also give another one for your Android listeners, but is Adobe Spark Post. Adobe Spark Post. It's free. And when you open that app up, I have it right here, you will just tap the green plus sign down at the bottom. And there you could actually just do a solid color. You wouldn't even have to have a photo. But you could also, just snap a picture, of something that has to do with your work. And then once you do that, it kind of automatically will add a text box for you. And this app is really intuitive, where it will arrange the text for you. It will automatically pick colors that match whatever the photo is. It's just like naturally made to make you look like you know how to design, and you don't have to know how to design at all. But the important thing is once you go through that process and you just double tap on the text, before you get to that, and you import your picture or you choose a solid background, it doesn't have to be imported, you'll get all of these different image sizes for social media, blog, whatever. Yeah. And right there, you're going to see there's a Facebook profile cover or there's a Facebook page cover. That's automatically the right size to fit in that space on your Facebook page or your, maybe your personal, if you use that for business. It's done for you. You don't have to understand the pixels or the dimensions. It's done for you. And then you save it. And I have there's a Facebook Pages app. If your audience is going to have a Facebook page, or if they have one, there's actually a separate app. And I will just upload from that app. You can go to your page, you tap on your header area, and you can go ahead and upload a photo right from your camera roll. So you can design and fix your Facebook page right from your phone.
Wow. So for everyone who's going, I really know how to do this, but wait till the summer, bring your kids with you to work, and pay them to do all your videos.
Yes, and tell them about these apps because they probably are already masters, and they will just make it look amazing. And I meant to add too, another alternative, it's not free, but is called Word Swag, and that's available for Android as well. And it also has different dimension sizes where there's no guesswork to it.
Cool. That's really amazing. This is really cool. There's a ton of information. I mean, a ton of information that I know that, because I signed up for. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about your course that you have people sign up for. And I'm telling you, there's a ton of information this girl gives you that you will become an expert as long as you do it.
Yes. Yes. So I have 2 free courses, and the one I think that you had signed up for is the iPhone product video course. That is more now it will give you some just basic video tips that you could use in whatever environment, but it's helpful if you want to speak to the camera, if you're interested in that, and it is product based. So that it may not be that helpful, but there are some general basics that I think you could learn from. And then the other one is my Couch Hustlers, which I think would be really great. And it just kind of goes over the basic steps to really capitalizing on your phone for your business. So it will first teach you kind of how to get rid of the distractions on your phone. I also talk about storage, which I know is really big. Yeah. And something I definitely want to say and mention before I say anything else is if you don't have some kind of storage app or thing on your phone for your photos and videos, I strongly encourage you to figure that out if you want to use your phone for photos and videoing. My suggestion, what I use as my backup plan, is the Google Photos app. And that is completely free for unlimited photo and video download, which is crazy. So basically, you just got to make sure. I have mine set up where when I'm connected to Wi-Fi, it will automatically back up to my Google Photos account. If you have a Google Gmail account already, you can access your Google Photos from your desktop as well, and from the app. It's an app, obviously, on your phone. But, in Google, where you go to the little 9 square grid where you go to click on your mail, your calendar, all that, if you scroll down there, you should see this little colorful pinwheel. And that is actually your Google Photos account. So the amazing thing is, a lot of times, if you backed up your phone, you don't even have to worry about the transfer process of getting your videos and photos to your desktop if you wanted to post from there, because you can just open up your Google Photos account on your desktop and download right there. So that, to me, I just recently had this crazy fluke issue with my phone and had to restore it to factory settings. And and my last backup was not immediate. You know, it was probably like a week or 2 week delay. Yeah. But my photos and videos were pretty much good because I was constantly uploading them there. But there's a bunch of different ways to make sure that your photos and videos are getting saved somewhere safe, so you're not depending on your phone, and also so you can get rid of them, because unless you have, you know, like I got the 256 gigabyte, but if you're working, some people are working with 16 gigabytes, and now if you have videos on your phone, that's it. Like you can't do hardly anything else. So I definitely suggest that app so that you can, you know, clean out your camera roll. In that course, I give more suggestions on how to free up storage. Then I talk about productivity, some hacks for really using your phone to save time. And then I have a tutorial on WordSwag, the app that I mentioned, on how to design an image on your phone. And then I have another tutorial on how to use the Legend app, which is this cute little, it's not cute, it's cool, but I'm like, your audience is like, I don't want cute, okay?
No, I want cool, yeah.
I want cool.
I want rugged.
No, I promise you it's cool, it's not cute. I use the word cute because they're 6-second clips.
Okay.
So it's a really great app to use to post to your social media because it's very quick. You can upload either a video or a photo, and it will only take 6 seconds of it, and you can add text on top of it.
Wow.
So if you're like, you got a deal going out on or something, you know, you just scan, you know, do a video of your workshop or, you know, your painting setup or something. And then you say, you know, come out, you know, this weekend, whatever, and 10% off. And you can do that all within the app. It's like $2. It's available for Android and iPhone. So that tutorial is in there as well. And something else I want to make sure I mentioned that is kind of being realized is that square size is really awesome. And seems to be getting the most engagement. Now, your typical iPhone is not going to video in square, but the Legend app, it has a square output, which is great because it takes up especially on your mobile device, it gets more, you know, footage, more space than your typical widescreen. And now even vertical video, I used to teach, don't ever film vertically. That's horrible. You know, that's what people who don't know how to video do. But now you can actually post those, and on mobile, they look pretty nice. So honestly, at this point, it's almost like throw the rule book out the window. Like, don't be afraid to get don't be afraid to get started because honestly, like you said, like videoing yourself messing up, when you come across as like real and authentic, it seems to be grabbing people now more than the professional polished stuff, which doesn't come across as real.
It's hilarious. I remember I was watching this guy. He was doing YouTube video stuff, and he goes, he said, I'm just going to tell you like it is. He said, this is hilarious. He said, one of my guys that I teach, he said he had scheduled himself to make a video in the morning, and he says he just got up late, and he said nuts to this. He threw on a T-shirt. I don't even think he combed his hair, and he didn't even have a cup of coffee, and he's there, and it's like he's half asleep making his video. And he goes, I made the video because I promised I would make the video, and I'm doing this thing, and I'm sorry if this is what you get is what you see. And da-da-da-da. And he goes, so he sent it off to his friend, and he goes, I don't know what's going to happen. He said that stupid video got the most hits out of everything he ever did. Because it was real.
Yes, and that's what will be so frustrating to me because my love is really like, how do you, I do what we call in our little smartphone marketing school community app smashing. So it's like trying to find these creative combinations that produce these really amazing effects. And, you know, you can spend some time on those, you know, like getting them just the way you want. And you think it's spectacular. And then, you know, the one that you just whipped up in 2 seconds because, you know, you really exposed a piece of yourself that was, real, it will still win. And to me, I kind of like to think that what I do is kind of like a craft or some kind of like digital art.
Yeah.
But honestly, people don't want that. They just want you.
They want the real you.
Yeah.
Tabitha, this has really been awesome. How can our audience get a hold of you, get in touch with you, so they can find out how to you teach them how to do the neat stuff?
Okay, so if you Google smartphone marketing school, there's really not a lot of anybody out there except me. That's probably going to be the easiest. And then you decide what you want to follow based on what account because I'm pretty much on most social media platforms. But then as far as my website and the courses, if you search tabithacarro.com, and that's TABITHACARRO.com, that's my website. I have a blog there, which those who are really like into this and really interested, there's a ton of content there that's separate from the courses as well. And it encompasses photography, graphic design as well, not just video. And then you'll also see, I believe I have a tab that says free courses, and you click on there and that will take you to the free courses.
Cool. We'll put all this stuff up on our show notes with all the links so that everybody can go to that too. So that is awesome. This has been so much fun.
I have enjoyed it too.
This stuff. Because here, I'm an old guy and I'm still learning stuff. So
we never stop, right?
No, I know. Yeah, every time I learn something, I find out that I got to learn more. So
well, and I feel like now more than ever, it's really kind of annoying. I think like the way technology is, because you will never ever master it. That's the one thing for sure. Like next, in a year, I'll be saying, okay, vertical video is the thing now. It will just constantly be changing, but that's just life.
Cool. Maybe you'll start something new.
We will see. If I keep spending exorbitant amounts of time on my smartphone, then maybe I will get there, because that's what I'm doing right now.
All right. Well, thanks so much for being with us. I really appreciate you sharing with our audience today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dave.
All right.
Thanks for joining us for another weekly episode of the Contractors Secret Weapon podcast with Dave Negri. We would love to hear your comments about this episode, so visit us online at www.contractorssecretweapon.com and let us hear your thoughts. If you were listening via iTunes, please leave us a positive review. The more positive reviews we receive, the more other contractors will benefit from this show. Thank you, and see you next time here on the Contractors Secret Weapon podcast.